all my returning subscribers. Thank you so much for always coming back. I really appreciate you. And if you're new here, if this is your first time of seeing my face, you're very much welcome. On this channel, I make videos on love life, motherhood, faith, and African food. So if you love such content, then kindly subscribe to my channel and turn on your notification bell so that whenever I post a new video, you can be notified immediately. You are very much welcome once again. In my last 3 videos, I expatiated so much on the new bride, the things that the new bride needs to know, the mistakes that a new bride needs to avoid in a marriage and things like that, in order to have a great marriage and things like that. Now, in today's video, I want to focus on the single ladies, talking about the men that you should consider very well and think very well before you make the decision to walk the aisle, to walk down the aisle to tie the knot with. Are you a single lady? Or do you have a sister, an aunt, a friend that is a single lady? Then this video is for them. If you're a single lady, then this video is for you. So kindly sit back and watch to the end. Also, try and share it with your friends that you know it to be helpful to. A lot of women are going through pains and sorrows in their marriage because of the choice of men that they fell in love with. Love or feelings is not enough to make you choose a particular man to settle with. A lot of women that only considered love are blaming themselves today. As much as you should consider love, there are some signs that if present in the man that is wooing you, then you should reconsider your decision and think objectively if it will be beneficial, and appropriate for you to continue in that relationship with that man. Don't forget that you have the right, the liberty, all the freedom to opt out of courtship whenever you discover that a future of peace and joy is not guaranteed, for you with this man. It's not that easy to opt out of marriage, unlike courtship, because divorce comes with its own pains, and hurts. Now, there's a general saying that a broken courtship is better than a broken marriage. Do you know what? It is very, very true, because the two pains are incomparable. So make hay while the sun is still shining now, and be very intentional as regarding the future that you really hope for, that you really want as far as your marital life is concerned. Don't hope that it will change when you get married, probably because he has promised you so, or probably you have seen another person that changed after he got married. Now, the question is, what if it doesn't change? Are you ready to endure the pain for long? Because marriage is for a lifetime. It is a long life marathon. So, shun self-deception and make the right decision for your future. I want to remind you of something, that you will live longer in marriage than you will live before getting married. Now, I want to describe something to you. Men are like airline. For example, the Arik Airline, the British Airways, the Air Peace, Air France, different kinds of airlines like that. Now, if you are going to a particular place now, there will be a lot of airlines that are going towards that same destination. And of course, you have the right to choose any airline that you want to book a plane with, isn't it? Now, once you have booked a particular plane of a particular airline, and on that day you are able to enter into the plane and things like that, and then the plane takes off. Once the plane takes off, you can't say that you want to get out of the plane, and you can't go to the pilot and collect something from him that, okay, you want to be the one to fly the plane and things like that. Now, I want to also let you know that as soon as you get married like this, once you have exchanged the vows and everything like that, you have given that man the authority over you. He's now your head. He now has the final say in your home. Do you understand? Forget all this femininity thing, all this women right thing and things like that. In the home setting, the man is the leader. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Of course, it's not maybe be an autocrat or something like that, but he's the leader. He's one that will have the final say and things like that. The only thing be left with now is praying for him, advising him, so you'll be able to make the right decisions concerning the family and things like that. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So once you marry him like this, the only thing you are left with now is to be praying for him, to be advising him, and if you advise and you think, oh, he's about to jeopardize the family and things like that, you only have maybe authority figures in his life that you can go and report him to and things like that. But I just want you to know that he has the final say. As soon as you get married to him, he now has the final say about decisions that you are going to be making in the family. That is why you need to think very well, and make the right decision as to the kind of man that you want to give that authority to, as far as your life is concerned. Now, without much ado, let us get right into today's video. The first man that I want to talk about is the unremorseful man. Now, who is an unremorseful man? Some men are like that. In marriage, you have conflict here and there. Sometimes, do you understand, misunderstanding, arguments, things like that. It happens in all marriages, okay? Now, a man that even after he has offended you, and he's sure that he's the one that is wrong, because you know what, in life you can't always be right, because nobody is perfect. Sometimes it will be the man that is wrong, sometimes it will be the woman that is wrong. Do you understand? And in marriage, once you are sure that you are the one that is wrong and things like that, you are supposed to say sorry to your spouse. Do you understand? But an unremorseful man, after he's sure that he's the one that is wrong and things like that, he won't come and say sorry. He won't come and apologize, because maybe he thinks, it's too unmanly, that's unmanly for him to apologize to his wife and things like that. He's too cocky, full of ego and things like that. He's not ready to even say sorry. Do you understand? Such men are those that turn the situation around and make you feel you are the one that even caused the problem. Do you understand? That you are the one that is at fault. Do you understand? Now, the danger of marrying such a man is that, such a woman will be a happy wife. Because everybody likes sitting by people apologize to you when they wrong you and you are offended. Everybody likes when people come around and say, I'm so sorry, I'm very sorry, and things like that. That thing, there's something it does, it will do to you, and you say, okay, no problem, and you just forget it like that and forgive the person. But my time is now an every time thing, that you will never say sorry, you will never apologize to you and things like that. What happens to such a woman is that she will lose the joy of marriage. In fact, she will lose every interest in marriage, because her emotion is hurt. She's wounded emotionally and things like that. Whenever somebody wronged her own spouse, her own husband, somebody that she's living in the same house with, wronging her, and he won't even mind her feelings. He won't regard her feelings. Okay, let me try and heal her, by apologizing and things like that. There's nothing like that, and it's an everyday thing. It's not just a thing of once in a blue moon and things like that. Do you understand? So she will lose joy, happiness, and things like that. Then another thing is that she will lose her self-esteem as well. Do you understand? And she starts seeing herself, as a slave to that man, because this is a man that is so cocky, that will not even have any respect for her feelings and things like that. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? And such a woman will start seeing herself as, it's not even better, for her to have just, just stayed as a single person, not just get married, than getting married in this kind of marriage. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? That's just what some people will be saying on different social media, that marriage is a scam and things like that, because of the bitter experiences that some of them are facing in their marriages. Do you understand? So it is very important for you to think very well and be sure that the man that you are in a relationship with is not the unremorseful kind of man, unless you actually look forward to having this kind of a future with such a man. But I don't think any woman wants this. So you have to think very well and be sure before you continue in that relationship with such a man. The second man that I want to describe for you today is a man that hits you when he's provoked. Now, I've told you before that in marriage, you will always offend each other here every now and then and things like that. That is normal in every marriage, okay? Now, if while you are still in a relationship, the two of you have not started living together, probably you only see each other once in a while and things like that. And then anytime he's provoked, he hits you, give you a knock, give you a slap, hit you and things like that, beat you up because you have done something wrong and things like that. Now, probably he even apologizes afterwards and things like that. Or probably he has just only hit you once, ever since you started the courtship and things like that. Now, that is a major red flag. Do you understand? Because now, number one thing is that if while you are still courting, you are not even living together yet, probably only try and visit each other and things like that, he hits you whenever he's provoked and things like that. Now, is it when you are not living together as a married couple, offending each other almost every day and things like that, that he will not be hitting you? Are you sure that hitting will not be an everyday episode? I remember during this lockdown that happened that was 2021, that happened and things like that. The case of domestic violence was so rampant and things like that, because maybe because a lot of women, usually go to work very early in the morning. The men also go to work very early in the morning, so a lot of couples don't really stay together in the same house for too long a time and things like that. Now when everybody experienced the total lockdown, everybody has to stay at home and things like that. I had what I heard from the news was that domestic violence was so rampant at that period and things like that. So if while you are still cutting, somebody is always hitting you, once in a while and things like that, of course you apologize. Now that you are not living together, by the time you not get married and you are not living together, offending each other almost every day, almost every hour of the day and things like that, how do you think the experience will be for you? That's number one. Then number two is that if now that you are still cutting, you have now that you have all the liberty, all the freedom, all the 100% power and everything to opt out of that relationship, if you are no more interested and things like that, is hitting you. Is it after you are married to him that you don't have it's not that easy to opt out of the relationship, to opt out of the marriage and things like that will stop hitting you? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So you need to think about this very well and be sure if you should consider if you should continue in that relationship or not. Domestic violence is not a sweet experience at all. In fact, some women have lost their lives just because of this domestic violence thing. Do you understand? So you need to think very well. Another thing is that your children seeing the two of you fighting and things like that, it affects them emotionally. Go ask from adults that grew up in such an environment. They will tell you that it's not a sweet experience at all. Seeing their two lovers, people that love them so much, their two loved ones and things like that, daddy and mommy fighting, hitting each other and things like that. It hurts them, emotionally. It wounds them emotionally. Some of them will even grow up to also become people that be hitting other people, maybe in school and things like that. So do you look forward to such a future? I'm sure you don't. So you need to think very well and make the right decision. Find the man to marry. Number 3, a lazy man that will not work. Now, there are some men, they are so lazy, they don't want to work. They are the ones that you will hear that will be saying, oh, those private schools, they will only use you and they will give you just something small at the end of the month and things like that. Is it not better than doing nothing and just loafing around in the neighborhood? They are trying to gather 10 million naira or something that they will use to start a business, an amount that will not come in the next 10 years. Some of them will say, they want to travel overseas. They are trying to gather their papers together and things like that. Why not pick up a job while you are still expecting those papers to be complete and things like that? So some men are so lazy, they don't want to pick up a job, they just like to sleep and just loaf around, giving excuses, one excuse or the other and things like that. If a man does not have a job or business that gives him constant income, consistent income, probably on a monthly basis, pause for now and don't enter marriage with him yet. Because you know what? Money matter is a major matter in marriage. Money matter is a major cause of conflicts in marriage, and it is also the source of a lot of conflicts in marriage. So it's not something you can overlook. It's not something you can just overlook and not give attention to. Do you know what? Every day we wake up, we spend money. The light bill, the water bill, the gas bill, electricity, children upkeep, school fees, food and things like that. So in fact, I won't lie to you, a lot of conflict in marriage sometimes stem from money issue. Do you understand? So it's not something you should overlook at all. In fact, this is why God, the founder of marriage, said that if a man does not provide for his own household, God said that he is worse than an infidel and that he has denied the faith. I will leave the passage on the screen for you. So be very sure that this man is the man you want to go into marriage with is not a lazy man. Let me tell you one thing. The wives of such men, the kind of frustration they go through is not funny at all. Because they'll be the one to carry the pregnancy, take care of the house, clean the house, such men, it may not even be helpful at home. Do you understand? In helping you with domestic chores and things like that. So it is the woman that will be doing everything, and she will still be the one that's doing, that will still go to work and still, take care of the family 100%. Do you understand? Now, you may be thinking that, okay, probably you have a good job and you can take care of the home and things like that. But don't forget that marriage is not a 100 meters race. It's a lifelong marathon. Are you sure you won't get exhausted and tired at some point? Children won't be children forever. At some point, they'll be teenagers, they'll be in the university, and they'll be needing so much money for their school fees, for their upkeep, for their this, for their that, and all that. You will get exhausted at some point. So I want you to look into it and be very sure. And then another thing is that such a man won't even be a role model, a good role model for the children. That's something, because a man should be somebody, should be the children's hero, isn't it? A man should be somebody that the children are looking up to, his achievements, how hardworking he is, his role model, his role as the father in the home, how he's playing it well, and things like that. So such a man won't even be a good role model for your children. That's another thing. Then another thing is that such men, they like to blackmail their wives. A little mistake like this, you are disrespecting me. Is it because I don't have a job? Is it because you are the one taking care of the home? That's why you are not submissive, you are not obedient, you are not respectful. Always blackmailing, things like that. So I need you to think very well and be sure before you go ahead with such a man in marriage. Number 4, a man of different faith with you. Now, this is divided into 2. Step 1, it could be that, okay, probably the man, you are a Christian, and the man was practices a different religion entirely. Do you understand? Now, let me talk about this one first of all. If you and the man that you are in a relationship with, you are totally different faith, this can be a cause of conflict in your marriage, because there will be some core values of each of you's of each of his religion that you won't want to compromise on, and that will be causing issues in your marriage. And do you know what? You as the woman, at the end of the day, they will tell you that be submissive to your husband, and that ends it all. Do you understand? Unless the two of you are not really devoted, to your religion like that. But even as at that, there'll still be some things that will be causing issues. Okay, for example, let's say you are a Christian. For example, let's say she maybe is a Muslim or something like that. By the time you have your baby, you will name the baby, right? Will you want your children to be bearing maybe a Muslim name and things like that? Would he want his children to be bearing Christian names? Some people don't like it. Do you understand? Now, or probably there are some practices in his own religion that you don't agree with. Maybe they have to do something inside the house, or things like that. Okay, maybe you have to agree together. You're probably going to agree together concerning a particular problem that you're facing in your marriage and things like that. Okay, just for example, let's say for example, I don't pray it for anyone. Okay, maybe you are still looking up to God for the fruit of the womb and things like that. His own idea of how to solve such a problem may be totally different from what you know of how to go about solving that problem, and that can be causing conflicts in your marriage. Now, my question is it necessary for you to see a problem looming and you still put your head inside? There's a particular place in the Bible that says that a prudent person, a wise person, sees trouble and hides himself. But a fool sees it and still puts his head inside, or something like that. I will leave the passage on the screen for you. So you have to be very sure of what you're about to do, this decision that you're about to make. Because the Bible says that can two work together except they agree? You can't work together, in such an intimate relationship called marriage without agreement on major things of life, on some core values of life. Do you understand? Then another side to this is, let's say the two of you are of the same faith. For example, let's say two of you are Christians. Do you understand? But there are some core things in Christianity that you both don't really agree on. For example, let's say you believe that it's good to tithe. Do you understand? That's the first 10% of every income that come into your hand and things like that. But maybe he is of the kind of Christianity that he doesn't believe in tithing. And probably as far as tithing is concerned, you can't compromise on it. You are a kind of believer that you don't joke with your tithing and things like that. Then another example is that probably you believe in fasting, going for vigil to pray and things like that. And he doesn't believe in fasting and vigil. He just believes that, God is good and things like that, something like that. So now, while you are cutting, it's very, very important for you to discuss and know, his faith, his belief system. Do you understand? And be sure that the two of you can actually work together in marriage, with the kind of faith, what the belief system that you both have. Because the two of you can't work together except you have agreement on vital things of life, vital subjects of life. So you don't have to put your head into a problem. Okay, let me quickly tell you this story. I went to the hairdresser one day, to the salon, to make my hair, and this woman was talking about, okay, why she was cutting a particular man. The two of them are Christians, right? So she was cutting a particular man that attends a white garment church, okay, but she is a Baptist. Now, by the time they got married, of course, there's just general something. It is the woman that goes to the man's church, right? Although on some occasions I've seen a man joining the woman, but most of the time it's the woman that goes to join the man's church and things like that. Now, she said that by the time she just joined them, by the time she just got married and things like that, she's always sitting down at the back. She doesn't like the white garment thing, so she's always wearing her normal clothes, and then she just sit down all alone at the back of the church and just be watching them. And then at the end of the service, she just carry her bag and go home and things like that. Now, I didn't talk about him on there, but I was just thinking in my mind that, but while you were cutting, you knew that you were cutting white garment man, and you knew that you are going to join him in his church. So if you know that you can't cope with his lifestyle, their own way of doing things and things like that, why did you not marry him then? I was thinking in my mind, I didn't tell him that, I was just thinking in my mind that, so why did you marry him? Why put yourself into, this is an unavoidable, it's not somebody forced you into that marriage. Nobody forced her into that marriage or something like that. And I don't think she even got pregnant before she got married. So it's only that maybe after she was pregnant, she didn't want to say no to that man again or something like that. I don't think so. I think maybe she got pregnant after she got married and things like that. So nobody forced her into that marriage. And she knew that this man attends a white garment church. And maybe she doesn't like white garment church. So why did she not follow through and to the extent of getting married to that man? Now she's not having issues, with having to wear the white garment or having to go to do how they do things in their church and things like that. So this is very important, Like I said earlier, love is not enough when it comes to marriage. Sit down and think very well. Do you understand? Let me tell you one thing. If you're saying, I love him, you love and things like that, by the time you get married and the reality of the decision you have just made is hitting you right, left, and center, in fact, you'll have even forgotten anything about love. In fact, you won't even remember whether love starts with L or with J, or with F or with S. Do you understand? By the time the reality of your decision starts hitting you. So it's very important for you to sit down and think and be very sure of the decision you want to make, of who you want to marry. It's better you make the right decision now to avoid a future of pains and regrets. You have to be deliberate and intentional about the man that you want to journey the rest of your life with. I'll leave you to make your choice and your decisions. This will be stopping as far as this video is concerned. If you have not subscribed to my channel, kindly subscribe and turn on your notification bell so that whenever I post a new video, you can be notified immediately. I post new videos every week. Thank you so much for joining me in this video. Until I see you again in my next video, have a great day, a great week, and a great life. Bye.